Hi you guys, welcome to my channel. This is Be Sweet and welcome to the BSL podcast, that is short for Be Sweet Love. All right, this is the spiritual podcast, you guys, where on my last YouTube channel I had so many videos that was basically teaching about the things that I've learned spiritually. But this podcast, since I saw that with YouTube I can push the talks into the podcast area, so I feel like why we just have talks on here, and just talk about everything. And I mean, it's been a long time coming because it is kind of complicated to talk about things that make you feel vulnerable, like your struggles. But a lot of people are dealing with a lot of the same struggles, spiritually, mentally, emotionally, physically. And I finally feel, just ready to talk about these things in more depth, because it's one thing to teach people or give people guidance based off of your personal experience, but it's one thing to tell people the raw truth about your own personal experiences and how it affects you, so people can understand, like, hey, you're not the only one that's going through this. You're not the only person experiencing these things, and just being able to relate, to understand, like, okay, yes, I agree, I am on this spiritual journey. And even for my people who are not on spiritual journey, just these particular life struggles, like, because there's a lot of other things that I'm hearing from spirit that they are complicated, and it kind of goes without saying it, it kind of expands through all areas of life, basically. So it doesn't have to just be a spiritual path, because even if you haven't, how you say, people say, awakened spiritually, even if you just come to this video and you're just watching it, maybe one of the titles stood out to you and you got curious, there's a lot of topics that still comes up that can still reach the majority and still help people understand, okay, this is why I feel like this stagnation, this is why I feel stuck, and things like that. And sometimes, just hearing somebody talk about a situation, or just venting, or whatever the case, sometimes it gives you clarity. There's little keys that unlock things in your mind and in your brain and in your spirit. And I've been known to be a messenger for people. People come into my life a lot of the time to get information from me, and they'll be right gone, right after they get the information. And I've noticed I've been just really good at, like, feeling like a perceptive person, where I can give people multiple perspectives and be unbiased and detached when it comes to the outcome, because I really give people advice from a sense of love and a sense of detachment, where it's selfless, okay? And it takes a lot to do, where even if you really care about that person, you really love that person, and you want to be with that person, that's a strong stance to have to take when people ask you things. And that's why, but I feel like if you want honesty from people, you have to be okay with whatever they tell you and what they come to you with, and be ready, to accept it, help them, and be okay. That's just a higher level of thinking, and it also takes a higher emotional maturity level, okay? The topics we're gonna cover today, I have listed, and this will be the second episode of your relationship talks. Okay, so why did I say that like that? I guess relationship talks, I guess we're gonna talk about relationships, but specifically relationship struggles, or how to open spiritual gifts. I felt kind of pulled to kind of discuss that with you all. Maybe some people are curious. Releasing karmic loops, something that I have been, for some reason, researching as of late. And also career path, like more on that, to continue on from the first podcast that I had did, episode 1. All right, and that's going to be a playlist, and all of my videos, tarot card readings, pick a cards, signs, every single sign, everything. I like to keep everything organized because I like to push out a lot of videos. It's just exciting to do videos. I just love seeing the messages, and I love, like, just being able to help other people, because that's one thing about this path, is that it kind of came to me. And the thing about it is, like, a lot of times I feel like I can help other people with my readings and me channeling spirits and things, but I feel like it's kind of complicated to help myself, you know what I mean? So I feel like this is also, me helping you guys helping me, we can get together. And another thing I want to add before we move into the topics is that I ask my viewers, even if you're passing through, drop a few topics and everything. And especially my subscribers who feel connected to this channel and connected to me, and if you feel drawn to this reading, let me know any type of topics that I want to keep this, I want to kind of create a community, a group where this is a safe space, okay? And this is a non-judgment zone, and it'll be that also in the comments as well. People can talk, you know, so I feel like people can talk about their experience, but I feel like I don't want anyone to place judgment in the comments, or I don't want anyone to have like a debate, because this is not a debate. This is all about life experience, and everyone has different life paths and different experiences, and we all have different journeys, so no one's journey is gonna be the same, so nothing's gonna look alike. And also people's perspectives are really different, so that is really big when it comes to how people view things. So there is nothing to be argued about. Everybody has a right point of view, and I mean, even if it sounds terrible, you have to accept that for whatever reason, that's their life, that's their karma, or that's the path that they're walking, and however long it takes, they have to go through that, okay? So please be respectful in comments or discussions, but I would like people to give discussions when it comes to one, things that's been on your mind heavy, and you feel like you want questions answered. The fact that this is big for this, I don't know why I'm here for this channel, and for me, is that I do channel. I literally channel from the spiritual realm, okay? And I've been able to do it for the last, I want to say the last year and a half. Yeah, like the last year and a half. So since like 2023 or something, I started to be able to hear, okay? And it's not a outside hearing, that's a next level. Mine is more of an inside, because I hear this, I channel more than likely, but I can hear them talking in my head, but it's a spiritual being type of thing, ancestor, spirit guides type of thing. When it gets to clairaudience outside here, like that's a whole nother level. That's like mediumship type of energy. And I for some reason I've been kind of like in a sense guarded or protected from that. I don't think it's time just yet for me to be communicating with other ethers, other entities and things like that, because then it can get real serious. And I feel like just with the energy right now I deal with is really heavy as it is, you know, being an empath, being really sensitive. And I mean, now it's to the point where people can talk to me and I can literally pick up what they're about to say, exactly how they feel. Like it's a lot, you know. So again, I just want people to be able to come and get some stuff off their chest, and I can be able to give you the answers. Because sometimes I find it weird that people can come to me and they'll ask me questions, and I don't have to necessarily know the answer, but for some reason the spirits can channel to me with the answer. So it's almost like I can answer your question and it answers the question for me as well, so we both kind of learn together. And then also I just want to make this a safe space for the sense of people who are struggling with different things, you know, because spirituality is really goes deep and dark, and as people try to, you know, there's a good side of and a bad side of everything. So this is the space, I feel like, where you can get out your struggles, you can get out the hard stuff, we can have the raw talks. And that's why this is going to be big for having deep talks and raw truths, you know, things that really hurts us, you know, and being able to be honest and vulnerable about those things. So I want y'all to kind of be able to bring those things to me in the comments, or even email me, or send it to my Instagram in a DM, and I can bring it to the channel so you can be able to come back here and watch it, so you can feel that relief, you know. And that's what a lot of the tarot card readings about. Okay, so now let's move into the relationship struggles, you guys. Something I want to talk about is just the fight. You know, we all fight, you know, on different levels when it comes to, there's this sense, and I feel it personally, where you feel so ready for union with someone, but you know that it's not, it's not any type of union. It's not a union where you just want to collaborate, or just be with someone, just love someone, you know. It's a spiritual companion, and it's like someone who understands, you know, the growth and the hardship you go through, the things you go through when it comes to developing yourself. Someone who also allows you to be true to who you are. They're uncontrolling, and they're not trying to be overbearing and change things about you, you know, to feed their own needs. And also a connection that's kind of in harmony. I feel like one of my personal struggles is just the fact of I meet, because I'm like genuine, and when I say that, guys, like, I'm not fronting. It's not something where I put myself like on a high horse. Yes, I have confidence, I always have. That's something that's natural to me, but for some reason people challenge me a lot. I meet people and it's always love interest people, and also there is levels to it. That's why I study astrology, because astrology helps you understand, okay, this is why it's happening. But even though you know why it's happening, it's the feeling of like, I'm hearing lack of control. Like, how can I do something about it though? What's the point of knowing information if you feel like you can't do anything about it? And I mean, it takes a little bit of pressure off, because it's like, okay, I see it's not just like happening to me, like it's a part of like my path, but it's like, what can I do about it? But there's a sense where I'm a seriously genuine person, seriously kind, and I can meet a lot of romantic potential partners where they'll either one, like they'll come off like they so infatuated, so intrigued, so kind. Like they get, people basically who mirror to you, mirror yourself to you, mirror. It's like they try to, yes, that makes so much sense. Like they mirror my personality back to me, and basically, I'm hearing kudos. Like basically, ironically, that's all I want in my person, is someone who is like me. So it makes sense for me to meet a guy who mirrors my funny personality, or my goofiness, or my kindness, or my givingness. And then after, some time goes by, they flip the switch. And it's like, nope, I gotcha and everything. How about you change this? How about you change that? You should be doing this instead of that. I want you to carry yourself in this type of way, or I feel like you should wear things in this type of way. And I feel like a lot of them, it's been more nitpicky when it comes to who I am as a person and my day-to-day routines. And I know it's a lot of times, it's a lot of times, like, you guys, like I have a bubbly, especially with friends and people who are close to me, who I feel like I can really express myself. It's like a danger zone. It's almost like I feel like I'm free to express myself, and then when I do, it's like triggering, because then all of a sudden it's like, okay, it's too much, or I don't want you to be so happy, or be so jolly, or be so giddy, like calm down in a sense. Like, and I hate to hear that. Like, I'm grown. I don't need no one to tell me calm down. You know what I mean? I'm not a child, and I'm not in a place where it's like, how you say, I'm in a no play zone. Like, I understand there's a time and a place for everything. And if this is a place where I can have fun and be myself, especially in my own home or inside of a place, where I can just be jolly and funny and silly. And even if it's out, if it's something that's a event or something, what is wrong with that? But that's what'll happen when a person pretends I'm here to like you for who you are, and then come to find out they don't, And then if it's not that, it's situations where gullible. The situations where people kind of assume I'm gullible because I'm sweet or because I'm kind, and it's like I'm hearing something about them saying betrothed. It's like some interests will try to either be aggressive over me, or they're assuming I'm a pushover, and it's almost like it makes me feel like I have to protect myself, which I hate, because it means, okay, I have to go out of my soft nature or my calm nature. And this is for a man or woman. You should be able to be calm and kind and at peace, in the sense of chill and whatever that is. If you're a naturally cool, laid back person, if you're actually upbeat, comedian type of person, regardless of what that is, you should be able to be in that energy without being challenged by someone. And it's almost like I'll be in whatever energy, and it's like, okay, they assume that I can overpower this person, I want to dominate this person. For whatever reason that these things come up, it becomes a sense where I feel I have to become an aggressor, be more masculine. I use my masculine energy more, and it upsets me because I hate how it feels, you guys, to have to express anger, and not necessarily anger, but like this authoritative, like, I told you don't do that type of energy. Like I have to, step out of, I feel like I'm stepping almost out of my natural character to defend myself. And I hate it so much, you guys, but I tend to come across it a lot. Like it's basically the pattern or the karmic loop for me to tie into about what I've been learning about how to release these karmic loops is been just controlling people who want to, control the situation, control the relationship, control me, control the narrative. And the thing about control is that people feel that if they can control you, they can control the outcome and they can protect themselves. So it's kind of like a sense of like people do these things so they can get, it's like a selfish nature for certain people, but some people, I'm hearing, the survival instincts. They do these things because they feel like, this is how I can prevent myself from being hurt. But also some people also get an ego boost out of controlling someone who appears or they know to be strong. But it's an energy of like kind of taking, your kindness for weakness, or taking your softness or this energy that appears to them as like a pushover or someone they can control, or dominate or focus on, to take the focus off themselves. From feeling weak themselves. It makes them feel stronger, and I don't know, like people have there's a lot of different reasons why people do these things, you guys. But I feel like in this spiritual path, you see it a lot. It's big. People like to call it the narcissist empath journey type of thing, and I came up on that. That was the first thing that opened me up. When I met my first person that was narcissistic qualities, but he also seemed like he had empathic qualities. He had a lot of stuff, but he took a big toll on me. He really put me in my place when it came to how to prepare for the world, how to have boundaries when it comes to me being spiritual, because I literally had just opened up spiritually maybe a few years prior to meeting him, and I feel like I just had this really, love for life, like spontaneity type of personality, like never had anyone to really be malicious. Like, I didn't have anyone be malicious toward me. I had relationships that maybe didn't work out, but not malicious, not someone who steals your credit card, try to wreck your car, like crazy stuff, and it'd be like, oh my God, like why am I drawn to you? Oh, why is this happening to me? And then once you feel like this great love for a person and you just want to understand them, it makes you feel like you need to kind of like introspect and outrospect. So I kind of had to learn. I learned a lot from that connection, and I constantly been learning. So I've been taking the time to learn a lot about like why these things are happening, and also paying attention to what's happening. But one thing I was asking Spirit was like, okay, I haven't stayed with anyone who didn't treat me correctly, so why does it keep happening, or why am I still kind of creating the same narrative? And so that's what kind of ties into releasing karmic loops. Okay, I'm picking up, and I was picking up as of last night. I've been having a hard time sleeping because I've been like fasting. I do tend to dry fast a lot, you guys, where I will go 24, 48, 72 hours without water and food, to cleanse my energy. And a lot of times you'll see like your skin gets nice, you will go into ketosis. That's like a whole thing. That's like a whole video I can do on that, and we can talk about it on the cast, like when it comes to emotional eating, and you just different types of habits, like and things like that. But with the karmic loop, I was picking up the energy. It was brought back to me. I am very familiar with numerology, astrology, a lot of spiritual techniques when it comes to shifting from different dimensions, time jumping. That's a big word in my mind, but I can't remember it because I haven't studied it for a while. When it comes to, it's like the scientific word basically for jumping timelines and time loops and things like that. But I was picking up, and I'm going to channel it before I lose it because the energy comes to me quickly. Okay, so for the release karmic loops, I was picking up last night. For the law of detachment is connected to it. So it was connected to the sense of becoming the Buddha stance, or Yahweh, Jesus, like becoming the highest source of thyself, and being able to be in a meditative state where you can use the law of detachment, meaning detaching from your desires, which also, and the reason why this makes sense, and I guess that's the problem with knowing things but not knowing the details, because that was also a point when I learned about manifestation, and it was like, okay, you understand, all right, you know, you think, you believe, you receive, stuff like that. But it's like, if you don't understand like really how it works, you can miss out, I'm here, on interpreting why things are playing out in certain ways. And we can get into that too, like the depth I've learned about how manifestation works, and it does take practice. But for the karmic loop, the reason why I feel like this makes sense when it comes to why desires keeps you in a karmic loop is because one, karma opposably can be good or bad, right? But the thing about it, we call it karmic because it feels like it's a pattern, it's a constant intense pull, right? So the thing about this, and then to loose and detach from the word karmic, let's just say patterns that are unfavorable, right? The thing is, when you're in a lower vibration, and I have been asking to vibrate and experience life and be my highest version, okay? I've experienced it. And one way I can say I know when I, like, without a doubt, that I'm in my highest version and in my highest vibration is usually when I'm meeting people that are in high vibrations. And I'm also telling you guys, if you haven't, watch Abraham Hicks. A lot of stuff I've learned, and I can even tell every time I just tune into the video, my energy, my vibration goes up instantly. But I remember some people don't understand and be like, oh, I thought like attracts like. But there's a little complexity to that, okay? But I know when you do raise your vibration high, although apparently when you are a light being, or how they just say, oh, you know, it's supposed to be lights and rainbows when you wake up spiritually. But the thing about when you are in a spiritual energy, there are people, spirits, whatever you would like to call them, they can see that light and they kind of come behind it. I'm guessing there's always some type of hidden force, because it's almost like yin and yang. If you believe in this, you got to believe in that. So if you believe in good, you got to believe in bad, okay? If we like it or not, all right, there's always another force, you know? So apparently, you know, if you're at this energy, there's always energies that want to take from that energy. And I mean, it could be, I'm picking up, it can be really innocent. People can be drawn to you in an innocent way and wanting to heal, but to you, they're unhealthy, or they're toxic in a sense where they almost bring darkness to you because they're just not aligned with you personally. They're not mature enough in different types of ways. So there's a mismatch there, but they're drawn to you, or they want you or crave you, and it feels intense because they want to learn something from you. And sometimes you can teach these people things, but you have to hurry up and detach from them, okay? But when it comes to why the law of detachment works when it comes to breaking out of these patterns, is that I picked up was that when you have desires, they create suffering, okay? Which means that there's a sense of, you know, you feeling like, I want this, right? And I want it because I feel like it's going to bring more joy or more happiness or more finance. At the end of the day, everything is about happiness, peace. At the end of the day, no matter what it is, it's all about that. We all just want to feel the highest emotion at the end of the day, right? So when it comes to you wanting things, and not just wanting them in a passive way, that is the perfect way. That is perfect law of detachment. Understanding, you know, we have things that we need to survive, right? And so you want it, but there's a sense of you wanting it, but knowing you have it already, and knowing you can have it even if it's not around you right now, knowing that the universe, spirit, God, source is going to bring it to you whenever it's right. So there's a sense of no urgency, no anxiousness, okay, no depression. The way, and the three is fastest way to know I'm hearing anxiety and anxiousness is when you're living in the future. That means you're obsessing about something that hasn't happened yet, or something that you desire to happen that haven't happened, okay? When you're in depression, that means you're living in the past. You're obsessing or thinking about something that's previously already taken place that you can't change. And I mean, sometimes you can, but you can't change it all, what had happened already. You can make different little, you know, attempts to release the energy or make amends with the energy of the person, situation, etc. moving forward. But the past cannot be undone. So there's an energy that becomes your depression or sadness, all right? When you're in an energy of peace, calm, bliss, happiness, you're literally in the present, you know. And to get into that state, if any of my viewers haven't experienced that state or don't know what that state is usually something you do when you lose track of time. That's when you know you're in the presence. When you're not worrying about the time, you done forgot what time then flew by. Like, you're just in the moment, you know, where you're not aware of so many things. And then also, if you want to put yourself in a moment, you can literally make yourself aware of beautiful things. You can look at the trees, look at the clouds, and let yourself kind of just go into the energy, and you'll see yourself kind of be grounded into the now versus being in the future or being in the past. And that's how you will release resistance and allow the law of attraction to work. Fire and the law of detachment. Okay. And the reason why a while back ago I found out about that law of detachment was a thing, but I used to always be questioning, like, why when you don't want something you get it? Why when you don't want something you get it? Like, oh, why when you stop, trying to pursue something, or you stop caring about something, or you declare like, hey, I'm not gonna eat cake no more, and all of a sudden, the cake starts to manifest everywhere. And I was like, why does the universe does that? Like, I hate it. It's so stupid, because a lot of times when I do something, a lot of times it's genuine. Like, I seriously, like, genuinely don't want that no more. I don't want to be with this person no more. I don't want that situation no more. And for some reason, it'll just come effortlessly, and I've seen things manifest for me, like genuinely things that I desired to manifest. But I understand the reason why it becomes a pattern is because fear desires. If we're talking about, like, if you have a desire that's too strong, or that has a almost an energy where it makes you feel uncomfortable, basically any desire that takes you out the present and makes you feel either anxious, guilt, fear, lost, scared, any of those energies, those emotions, basically, to be correct, because emotion does rule manifestation, they are at the lower scale of manifestation, you guys. And if I can put a grid, I possibly would on here, and I might do that on the YouTube, okay? But there is an actual graph, you guys, and I probably put that in the comments, what's the name of the graph. But there's a graph that's basically when you have these strong desires and you have like fear or depression or sadness over these things, it pulls your vibration down to the physical realm. And apparently when your vibration or your ether or your auric field is being pulled to the ground or to the physical realm, it's harder to manifest things you want, and it's harder to be aligned with your true self, okay? And I think that's also a part of it, being aligned as your true self in your true embodiment, because the truest self, the truest form, the highest self knows that it can have whatever it desires. It's your highest self, okay? So it's like you become your lowest self, and it's almost like you push these things away. And that's also why people constantly say with manifestation, you can't crave things too bad. You can't want things too bad. You can't have these emotions that make you feel, anything but happy. Okay, so when you do want to manifest things, or you do want the best outcome, and that's kind of what this is all about. No matter how you look at it, it's all about what we desire, you guys. If you want the best husband, the best wife, the best job, the best finances, the best body, there's an energy of detachment involved for some reason, and that's just how things have been working. So the problem is, you'll see the loop of either maybe people just mirroring to you, or maybe, again, I'm picking up the energy of your shadow side, your lower side. How I'm picking up how you have different zodiacs. How some zodiac signs, the higher octave of this sign is, extreme bliss or joy, or energetic, whatever. But then the lower octave of this person is, they combative or whatever. So I'm picking up when you create desires that are too strong, it pulls your energy down to your lower vibration, right? And so then it attracts people who feel like, okay, that's how I used to be, or that's things I used to deal with, or this is something I don't want to deal with. That's why it seems like, okay, you're meeting people, who treat you like this or treat you like that, and it's a level of confusion. And it's like, that's why there's a confusion about why you feel like, okay, I've done all this healing, I've done all this self-work, I know I'm ready for the right person, I know I'm ready for the right situation. Like, why am I still manifesting these things that are not in alignment with me? And it's given this, I'm also picking up an energy of like, you're not in alignment with yourself. I'm hearing you're not in alignment with your own self. So that's why the law of detachment, I feel like, is the most powerful thing ever. For whatever reason, it's the most powerful thing, because I'm hearing it looses you and it alleviates you. I'm hearing of lower level skills and problems. And so that's why they teach that about being like the Buddha, where you rise up to the ether levels, the highest planes, okay? Because y'all know, and if you don't know, the highest vibrations you usually create and manifest the quickest. And I've seen it, especially when I meditate. And that's what I wanted to say about this with you guys is, y'all, billionaires and millionaires meditate. So I know it's hard when you're, and I feel like the problem is when you're under pressure, when you feel guilt and you feel scared. And a lot of that, again, is root chakra energy, survival energy, feeling like you don't know what's going to happen. That's a sense of wanting to control. You want to control. But what can we ever really truly control, guys, but ourselves and our emotions? And I promise, if you can ground yourself and invest in your energy and just take those 5 minutes, 10 minutes, and it'll grow to the fact that your energy will be so lighter that everything you need will naturally come in. Okay, and I know these things, but even personally, sometimes it's a struggle because you're dealing with your everyday emotions. And especially being on a spiritual path, I'm really sensitive to every little emotion I have. It makes me sick, okay? But that's just, comes with the territory, and you learn more to how to alleviate those pains and things like that. And I felt these pains before of sadness and grief and mourning things, and the energy of like, wow, like I know I feel like I desire, and it's almost the energy you feel like you want these things, but you feel like because the universe not bringing it to it, like maybe you should just not even want it at all because it hurts to desire it. And so that's the energy that's why that detachment energy is so strong. You just knowing that I have it, but also it takes a place of strength and spiritual wisdom to believe that. And also I feel like I ask you guys as well, if you haven't experienced it for yourself, or you can't place it, always look back in the past and think about a time that you needed something to happen and how it played out, how all of the things that we've come through, to get to this point. I'm really optimistic, terribly optimistic, but at the same time, I also can rationalize. I also could be logical. Like I use all of the forms. I feel like everything works when it needs to work all in its own little way to come together to make one. All right. So that's something, you guys can consider when it comes to why you feel like there are a lot of patterns that are happening, and that's a way that we can alleviate those patterns. And I feel like personally, I'm on a journey of becoming detached since this has been brought back into my awareness that law of detachment is not just about manifestation, it's also about karmic loops and why we fail to get into alignment with the things we truly desire. And I feel like the things we feel like aligns with us, if you're so peaceful and genuine and pure and you're hardworking and you have integrity, there's no way you should be working with other people or be in a situation where you're working with people who do anything else but that. Okay. And so that's why when I've watched Abraham Hicks, she talks about that. For some reason, people can't align with you when you're in those type of energy. Usually you only connect with people like that. And I've noticed when I've been in my highest of high, and I always pinpoint, like it's always when I either be meditating, listening to frequencies, things like that, I'll meet other interests, like partners, friends, people who are on that spiritual octave. It'll be quick, like I'll see they're just there carrying around a crystal on their neck, and it's like you feel like they're so rare to find, but as an energy of you needing to be in a certain vibration to even see them, that's very important. Okay. And so moving into spiritual gifts, okay, just to let you all guys kind of know, to kind of clap back to that about how to open spiritual gifts if I feel drawn to talk to you about it. If you want to open your spiritual gifts, I'm hearing them say like pray about it, ask your spirit team about it, but there's an energy of you talking to your spiritual team, listening to different frequencies, trying to cleanse all of your chakras. Because I just had an OBE, you guys, an out-of-body experience not a few days ago, and that was crazy. Just because I would listen to my lower frequency, lower chakra frequency videos, because I felt like I needed to cleanse them. And a lot of times you can know, look up, you guys, how do you know when your chakras are out of alignment? That's something else that can trigger you to be in different vibration. I mean, in different vibration, like a low vibration, and not know why. You know, because your chakras could be out of alignment just from being out, or things that might stress, stuff like that. Okay, and so the biggest thing I'm picking up to tell you guys is you will have to quiet your mind, specifically for clairaudience. Different ones for different things. Like if you want to visualize, I would, visualize and see things with your mind. You will have to sit in the dark, sit with your eyes closed, okay, and meditate. Specifically with the third eye, the crown chakra, that could let that energy in, so you can be able to see. And for some reason, it makes it stronger. Well, because I can like literally have my eyes open and still have a vision in my head and see it, and then you can try that where you close your eyes and try to visualize like a purple balloon in your head right now, a red balloon, and somebody grabbing it. And if you can create that image in your mind, that's basically clairvoyance right there. All right. And there's a next level where you can see spirits and things like that. That's a different level outside of thyself, but I think it takes for you to open up so much spiritually to where those things can encounter you. Okay. So, but for clairaudience, I was picking up that people wanted to know about that specifically. In order to do that, the way I did it, I used an audio one, and also the biggest part of the audio was saying hello in your mind and being quiet. So it's like you'll just say like hi, is anyone there? And you'll be quiet. I'm hearing them say, no, nobody's there, nobody's home. You know what I mean? But you'll say it, and then like, if you just kind of wait to hear that answer. And don't think you fooling yourself, because it's real, and then you'll say it like, can you speak louder? Can you talk louder? Or you say it louder and have them say it louder. And you just keep, like an intercom. It's like a inner voice within your head that you can hear, but it's in your own voice in a sense. Like, I don't know how to explain it. It's like I could just hear, I just know what they're saying for some reason. But you have to quiet your mind. You have to quiet and listen. And some people are already open to it, but they don't know it, and it's connected to your intuition. So it's those little nudges that you get, like something's like, don't go to Walmart, go to Sam's or something like that. And you be like, why? You question it, you want to talk back to it, like, who's trying to get me to go to Sam's? Like, you don't go to Sam's. That's how you know they're already there. Your spirit team, your spirit guides, your angels, etc. Whoever you feel really energetically connected to, that's how you know they're there, and you can hear them and get downloads from them in that way. But practice that, saying hello, saying hi, and then once you hear someone speak to you, you can ask who it is, because I have so many, I just don't even ask anymore. But you can ask who it is. You can say as well as tell me more. That was one of the biggest things. Tell me more, say more, and then you just keep doing that till it'll get stronger and stronger, and they'll get lighter and lighter. And specifically, the more higher your vibration is, the louder they are. And especially at night, between 2 a.m. I noticed to 5 a.m. they loud. They be I could hear them loud in my head, like, type of thing. I don't know how to explain it, you guys, but y'all can try that, you guys, when it comes to opening spiritual gifts. But if you want to open your spiritual gifts, that's one of the main things, y'all have to meditate. That's one of the main things. If it's like not natural to you, you have to meditate, and meditate like real meditate. Well, you sit Indian style, you guys, or you lay flat. I started off Indian style, like in the dark, humming, chanting, for at least a minimum of 30 minutes to an hour every day. And I think I did it for a while, because I was obsessed with like meeting or talking to my spirit guides, because again, what we gonna end off in finding my purpose. Like, this is how I got into spirituality. I wanted to know my purpose, you know what I mean? So yeah, so with the career path, that's something I struggle with at this moment as we speak. A lot of us feel like I'm hearing age gaps or something, like different millennials I'm hearing, generations. There's an energy of feeling like I'm here feeling pressured, like we have to be somewhere at a certain time, okay? And I'm hearing it's incorrect. I'm hearing it's downright not that easy, and it's wrong. But that's also the energy of us feeling pressured. We feel an internal pressure, or a time clock, or I'm hearing like a pressure cooker over our life to get something done and do something and go towards an energy and everything. And apparently when I studied Vedic, sidereal, tropical astrology and everything, so I know what planet rules my entire chart and my personality and things like that. And apparently I have Aries is my Mars is my strongest planet, my highest degree planet, okay? And it makes my life feel like I'm under pressure to create something or do something. And I kind of sense and know, what I'm supposed to do, but it's like this energy of, how do I get there, or how is that going to happen? Like I just don't know. So there's an energy of illusion around me, confusion, mystery. My whole life has been a mystery when it comes to specifically my career, you guys. Like I've had so much mystery, and I can't speak on that like everyone experiences that, because some certain people have to do certain things, but there's still an energy of this knowing that you need to be somewhere or go somewhere and you can't settle, so I just want to discuss the energy of like this guilt of surrendering and feeling pressure. I some people, and I understand, I'm not the only one. There's this energy when you want to be in this energy of high vibration and law of detachment, you feel guilty to surrender and just be okay and be happy-go-lucky, especially when you're surrounded by other people who are so in the matrix, in the timing of like, I feel like I gotta stress over this, I gotta worry about that, as if it's gonna change anything. Being nonchalant, it's the most powerful thing you can do. But when you're used to people being like that around you, it makes you feel guilty to be in that energy. And guilt, it's such a thing as well. You don't want to feel that as well. Something about neglect, that you're not on your path. And it's just like all these feelings and emotions that you feel about trying to surrender to the process. But I think that's where the selfishness comes in. You having to back out and understand, like, this is the only way I'm going to get to the place I need to be, so people can see why, God works in your favor, or this works in your favor, because I'm picking up the energy, like, once you get to where you need to go, people be asking how you got there, and that's why you have to stand strong in these things, these teachings. There's no reason that we're coming across this information for no reason. There's no reason that we're just learning these things for nothing. This is coming into your life to help you. You know what I mean? So, and it's also like verse going with the flow and that feeling of urgency. So basically I said that, that energy of you feeling a sense of urgency and anxiousness to make something happen, do something, and I feel like for me personally, I've like quit so many jobs, I've walked off so many places, I put in my 2 weeks for so many places, and I've had a skill set for so long, of driving, and I feel like it pulls on me, but I feel like it's not my highest octave I'm hearing. Like it's not where I'm supposed to end at, and I feel it, because when I do it, I feel miserable. I'm not happy. I want to do something that I feel passionate about, and I feel like everyone does. And I think there's this strong connection to being detached and leveling up your energy so you can align with that lifeline of your North Node. Is about aligning with your North Node, your highest self, your best version of who you desire to be. And man, does it take some discipline, because it's almost like you're fighting yourself, you're fighting the world, it's a lot going on, you guys. And I feel like that's why we need each other. We need this community, guys, to have these types of talks. Okay, so I know I can, it's like I don't want to make you guys feel like I'm bogging you down with things that I go through. But again, like, this is deep. This is going to be a channel where we can cry on, and be sad together, about certain things, and we can lift our vibration, so. But I feel like I want to share the things that I've learned, as well as talk about things that I don't understand and haven't learned yet. But these are the things I felt guided to talk about today, you guys. And I hope this helps you guys, whatever you're going through right now. And I hope people relate, y'all let me know. Like, share, subscribe, you guys. There'll be more. I'm kind of seeming like it's going to be one video a week, or if I feel guided, maybe 2. All right, because I do bounce in between like the tarot and things like that, trying to get out messages. And if you do watch my tarot reading side of the channel, I am a DIY person. I am multi-talented. It is crazy, you guys. But I feel like I want to keep it kind of, strategic, whereas like it's not so many things going on one platform, But I do want to help people when it comes to being able to read, and it's also exciting to see results and to see people like resonate and things like that. And I'm kind of feeling drawn to the pick a cards more, you guys, and the all signs. So I'm probably, after I will dedicate and I'm committed, I will finish off the reasons that I started for every sign. But I think I'm going to go into like all picker cards and all signs only, because people do like to just pick their sign and listen to their sign. But with all sign videos, I can be able to just hit every zodiac in one without having to do so many. And with the picker cards, I can reach more and I can do more topics. Okay, so that's what I feel like the channel is going to lean to, majority, because I notice, honestly, you guys, love readings, but there's so much going on in life, and I'm such a deep person and I have so much wisdom. It is mind-boggling, like, to keep it to myself. And I feel like I have so much to teach and give, and I can't do that if I only do love readings or if I only do certain types of readings. And some people don't want to get that serious, so that's why I feel like me having different genres, I'm hearing different topics, using pick a card, I can get to the people that need that energy, that need me, or because there's a reason why I'm on this platform. There's a reason why I felt pulled back here, even after I try to run away and leave it, because this is not easy for me. It's draining for me. It can be really draining for me. I really need to take a nap, and I've actually been on psychic platforms before, I've did psychic calls, etc. before. It takes a lot energetically, and I think the biggest thing for me is because I'm not just a card reader. I'm an intuitive I'm an energy reader, but also I'm a psychic channeler, where I literally channel through me. They literally sometimes come in my mouth and talk through my mouth. Okay, and so I think that's and it's progressive. That takes a lot out of energy out of me. Okay, you guys. So yeah, it's not as simple as it seems, but I have gratitude for it. I'm open to the spiritual realm. I love learning about the spiritual life and things like that, you guys. So y'all just, a little bit so y'all know. And I almost forget, before I forget, I'm going to throw that out there. I did open my Etsy shop back up. I had tarot cards on that jewelry, you guys. I lost a lot, and it's been just the energy of transformation. Also, in numerology is my personal number, year 9, and it hit me so hard. So I had to like kind of recalibrate, restart, and I'm just used to it. And I think that's also why I do kind of master the level of law of detachment a little bit, because my life has made me lose things so many times and everything. It's almost like what are you attached to that for? Like, I can give it to you again. I can give you something better, and that's kind of how you have to think about it. Like, what's the higher octave? What's the higher perspective of that? And perspective is everything, you guys, when it comes to life. Like, perspective rules life. You can literally look at something like, okay, this is the best thing for me. Oh, this is the worst thing for me. But there's always a high perspective of it, and it can alleviate emotions. Whatever you feel is whatever you're thinking. Okay, so y'all can check out the Etsy store. It is in the description, and it also is in my about section of the YouTube channel. You can just click it and go on there. Okay, and I have multiples, but mostly of it is I have video like these, where you'll just get to see me come on there and talk directly to you. Okay, and a lot of them are same day. I like same day because I know how I feel. If I put in a reading, a lot of times I want the same day. It'd be like a rushing question. You don't want to wait several days. I'm hearing, and I do have phone readings open, and I'll have like a line and schedule and stuff I can do where I can be able to do phone readings, and the phone readings will be channeled definitely, because when I get on the phone, there's an energy, like, it's almost like they go to answering the questions before I can even say something, before you can ask the question. Like, that was my experience when I would get on the phone with people. It was like they were almost over talking me, when it came to trying to give you guys the information. And I'm not necessarily sure how this works, where if your spirit guides come over here, and that's kind of what it feels like. Y'all spirit guides must come talk to my spirit guides and my spirit team, or y'all spirit team be jumping on me, tell him this, tell him that, tell him this, and I be feeling like, oh my God, what first at a time? Like, it's crazy. It's been a crazy experience, you guys, and y'all can have that experience too if you like to. But I hope, like I said again, I hope this helps, and I hope y'all enjoy this podcast. We're gonna keep getting deeper and deeper and deeper and deeper. I'm here until we alleviate the pain. All right, I love you guys. BSL, be sweet, you guys. Bye.